we will reach to that state where we understand, oh, that is the way we need to discover. So last time we talked about we talked about real and the false nature. You see that in Eastern wisdom, we say there are two types of knowledge. Basic, fundamental. We can classify. So the words is used are laukik, the worldly knowledge received by the sense organs and the mind. You know what comes in between the knowledge of, say, for example, knowledge. Do I know John? Yes, I know John. How do I know? Through my mind and the sense organs. You know, two instruments come in between. Clear? But then there is another type of the knowledge where the sense organs and the mind is not required. That leads to our real nature. Let me give you one example, and from there we will go. I ask you to go to the dark room and find out who is there. You go to the dark. You see nothing because it's a dark room, right? You come back and you say there is no one. Now tell me who says there is no one? It means you know you were there. Did you know through your sense organ? No. Did you know through your mind? No. I am aware. So your statement that there is no one is false. Because you were there. You reported that there is no one in the room. That is how we understand. So, but why the mind said that there is no one? Mind is obsessed with the world outside. Prove me my real nature. Let me see through the sense organs. So see yourself through the sense organs and then prove it. Why you use your electron microscope? Are you not using it? Yes. So electron is a special instrument. So Eastern wisdom is a special instrument to know your real nature. What's the big deal? You see that? That is why we are studying. That is why we understand these principles to find our true nature. A guy was running in the direction of the west in search of his son. He got exhausted. He was sweating. He was crying, "Where is the sun?" A monk was passing by. He caught of him. No, no, I'm going in search of the sun. So he said, "Hold on. Stop this running." And he moved his face to the direction of the east. He said, "Here is the sun. Sun is here and now before you." That is why we need to understand these principles. Otherwise, you will remain exhausted, anxiety, stress, suffering. Life will be full of. So, what we are doing, what I'm doing, I'm gradually and slowly helping your mind to stop now. Enough is enough. Why you are seeking happiness in others? You're moving in a wrong direction. You see, so teacher is always helping you through that knowledge with the clarity. So, the master says when you are into the highest state of meditation, what happens? The knowledge of the reality is revealed. Knowledge of the reality is revealed. When you are before me, like Anne is before me, the knowledge of the Anne is revealed in the mind, even if you do not think, because I know her. Do you see that? Not very difficult to understand. Huh? It's not a meta science, It's not what Michelle is doing all kinds of research studies. Oh, we are talking in a layman's term. So when you go into the highest state of meditation, the knowledge of the reality dawns. But what happens? I have understood, but still the knowledge of the reality is not revealed in the mind. Why? Why? Because it is the mind preventing me to have that knowledge. Why the mind is preventing me? Let us go a little deeper. Mind says, I am the master, you are not. Mind says, whose mind? Your mind. Are you suffering from anxiety? Yes, your master. Your mind says, I'm the master. Live in anxiety. Nobody else is responsible for it. Okay, but why? What is the problem? Pay attention. What is the problem? Why the mind says, I am the master? And what is the problem? Because the mind is seeking happiness outside. The mind is running like a guy who is running in search of happiness in the direction of the West. What is the West direction? The mind is always running outside. I'm single. If I get married, I will be happy. One example I always give. Pay attention. I'm single. I'm unhappy because I did not marry. So that I will be happy. I am not happy now. I will be happy in future. So mind has divided the time. One, mind is running after the happiness in object or a person outside. Two, now I get married. What a life after marriage. You can apply that to any object and thing. Now I'm unhappy with the marriage. So I will be happy after divorce. You will never be happy. I'm unhappy being single. I'm unhappy being married. And I will be unhappy being divorced. Are you getting it? Who does this? Mind. Not you. Not any one of you, including me. Why? Our essential nature is full of peace and happiness. And the mind has become the master. The mind has prevented the real self to act. That is known as the impurity of the mind. That is known as the mind is living in ignorance. That is the principle. So every master says the mind living in ignorance is searching for happiness outside. Now question is what to do. Yeah? Next normal question comes, what to do. I should know the mind. Car breaks down, I should know why the car breaks down. Because mind is an instrument, car is an instrument. Are you getting it? But we falsely claim, I am the mind. That is why you are suffering. You're not ready to listen to any teacher? They are crazy. You are more crazy than you think. If you are so. No, I'm just making it. Think of this. That is where the journey of the meditation really starts. So, what should we do? Know the mind, its structure, its function, why we cannot lay off the mind, why we cannot purify the mind, why shouldn't I focus the mind in search of the happiness within me? That's a normal questions we should ask. So, first thing today, we will understand that different states of the mind. Different states of the mind. First thing to understand, according to Eastern wisdom, the mind, its natural state of the mind is knowledge and happiness. You'll be surprised. Modern psychology says, they have discovered more than 3,000 abnormal conditions of the mind, known as mental illnesses. I studied in abnormal psychology. It was so thick book when I was doing masters. And I got upset. That is also a mental disorder. Looking at the book, you see that. Will you remember all the 3,000 illnesses? So what the experts we do, we try to form an opinion, and ultimately I'm trapped by it. That is also an approach. I'm not criticizing it. But there is another approach. If I know what are the subjective states of the mind and which subjective states of the mind causes the problem, will cause the problem in the future, will always remain in suffering, and I can get rid of these three states, mind is okay. Mind will go into its own nature, and that will reflect my real nature. That is what meditation is. So our master says the mind lives in 5 subjective states and 5 objective states. What are those objective states known as? They are known as thought patterns. Thoughts. So you have 1 trillion thoughts. So our master says you can classify these thoughts into 5 categories. That is the objective states of the mind. Well, you just take an example of what is the objective state. Do you know me? You say yes. So I am you, I am object for your mind, and you are subject for your mind. I am and I am not. I am and I am not. I am is subjective. I am not is objective. Did you get it? Then we can move further. So 5 subjective states of the mind. It is your first person experience. That is your subjective experience of the mind. That is how we explain. So, what are the 5 subjective states of the mind? Top of the list that causes the problem is a wandering mind, is a crazy mind. The mind passes through, it passes through millions of the thoughts, and the mind does not get the right knowledge of any of these thoughts. That is the wandering state of the mind. I am busy. Why don't you understand, honey? What do you mean? Why you are angry and why you are using the word honey? You see that? See, we don't become aware. Why? The mind is the master. Wandering state of the mind. You cannot focus, cannot know what is right and wrong, cannot see if happiness is there. So it says happiness is pleasure. What is pleasure? Honey, if you listen to me, if you like me, I will get pleasure. If you keep smiling 24/7, let me become angry because you should be responsible for my happiness. You see, we do it in daily life. Observe it. Check your mind. Second state of the mind, subjective state, is obsessed mind. Oh, I told you I like this only. I will only have this. That is obsessed mind. Second state. Third state of the mind is forgetfulness. I forget my identity, so I also forget. My mind forgets the identity of a person outside. After all, I should not speak. I live in those fancies and imagination. That is the third state of the mind. These three states of the mind, if you are living in these three states, forget about meditation. Even if the teacher is the greatest teacher, enlightened teacher, the Buddha comes before you, he cannot do anything. He cannot do anything. I'm an ordinary guy, but I tell you. But even if the teacher is crazy and you are not living in the three states of the mind, you will reach to the state of awakening. That is the reasoning our masters, not one, more than 3,000 masters gave that reason. What is the fourth state? It is known as ekagrata. It is one-pointedness about the goal of life. You have become a seeker of the subjective reality. The mind is contemplating, thinking, and it is 100% clear that what exactly is the real nature, what is the false nature. I have understood intellectually. Now let me practice and find it. Are you getting it? We say, no, I'm getting married. So you are getting married to a seeker inside you. You know how much excitement we have? It is a different matter. I'm not going to say further. Yeah. So I'm getting, becoming a seeker. That is the fourth state of the mind. And what is the fifth state? Fifth state is the emptiness. So in that state of the emptiness, what happens? The real nature reflects in that transparent mind. How it reflects? You are on a beach in a full moon night. The water is calm. The mind is the water. Water is not in the three states. It is not obsessed. It is not crazy. It is not lazy. Now you look into that water and you see the full moon reflecting there. Mind does nothing. Living into that state of the emptiness, that moon, that real nature is reflected in the mind. That is your realization. That is your first person experience. Is the highest state of meditation. Are you getting it? I'm trying to be simple. The moment your mind is crazy, it is definite that the mind is running after something, some object, some person in the world outside seeking pleasure. Then you become aware at that very moment. And you will see the result by yourself. The mind will start looking the cause inside in the mind. Oh, I got obsessed. That is why I am in anxiety. Let me drop it. Let me stop seeking. Let me stop being exhausted. searching the sun in the direction of the west. That is what our teacher says. What happens in daily life? That is, there is a wandering state. Occasionally, now the mind lives in right perception, wrong perception, fancies and imagination. Our Eastern psychology says even the sleep and the memory are the objective states of the mind. So there are 5 objective states of the mind: right perception, wrong perception, fancies and imagination. You look at a beautiful girl. Example: mind either has a right perception. Oh, beautiful girl, let me appreciate. Mind has a wrong perception. If you can complete the sentence. So that if has an element of a wrong perception and imagination. And we already know about memory and the sleep that we will talk in detail about in following sessions. So what happens? These 5 objective states on one side, 5 subjective states on one side. I am, 5 subjective states. Now I am wandering. I look at any of these thoughts. Result is what? Wrong knowledge. Mind is in a wandering state. Forgetfulness. Wrong knowledge. Obsessed. Wrong knowledge. Even if it is a fact, I don't see the fact. I see the limitations. Say, for example, of my honey, his or her IQ, and still I force myself. What I'm doing? From the 3 states of one example. So understand the limitation and enjoy it. It is not possible. Why you need to be angry? I only want chicken in my life. Now see, there is an announcement that Salmonella virus may infect the chickens. Now your obsession meets with the danger of death. What is going to happen? Think of it, understand it. It is asking you to live here and now. So what I wanted to tell you that we have 5 objective states and 5 subjective states. Now understand, based on these 10 different states of the mind, in 1 minute, for one person, these 10 subjective states moves in the mind. What kind of a personality he will have or she will have? And let us take the second person. Second person lives only in the last 2 subjective states of the mind. The mind is naturally focused, goal-oriented, and it is seeking that state of the emptiness. With reference to the objective world outside, what will be the state of that personality of that person? That person is always relaxed, calm, happy. But if the first 3 states, the wandering, the craziness, and the laziness of the mind is present, so with that laziness, you are looking at a person, you are doing your activities with that fancies and imagination. And then you blame others, complain others. So what is that process of meditation? Have a simple understanding. Minimize the impact and the occurrence of the 3 subjective states of the mind. Forget the rest. What did I say? Minimize The occurrence of the first three subjective states. Is the mind wandering while listening to me? You are not with me. No, no, you all are with me. So you see that. So second is obsessed. Is the mind obsessed with my beard? Nobody can get obsessed with my beard, but you, our mind is getting obsessed. Just after the meditation session, I will do this obsession. Even if you're doing something good, do you have that thought in the mind? Don't tell me, but tell yourself. That is what I noticed based on you. That is what I do based on your questions. I understand your question in a deeper way. So you see that what is the goal? The goal is to minimize the occurrence of these three states of the mind. Forget about the thoughts. Thoughts will go on its own. If you feel sleepy, do you say, I have lot of wandering thoughts now? Don't disturb me, let me sleep. So what do you mean by don't disturb me? I don't want to wander with your thought, thinking. You feel bored about my talk, and gradually you may pose that you are not sleeping, but you start feeling bored and you go into sleep. So what is the goal? To minimize the occurrence of these three subjective states of the mind. And what will happen? You enter into the fourth stage of the mind, followed by the practice. You reach to the state of emptiness. Where that happens, emptiness, what is that emptiness? Remember, emptiness is not static. Normally, the Eastern psychologists, they start challenging. No, mind cannot be made static. We agree with you, but listen to us. Understand the entire principle. Can the water be made static? No. In the ocean? No. That is why I gave the example. But now that water is calm, free from the wind of desire seeking pleasure outside, where it is not. Are you getting it? That is what the meditation is. That is why we say meditation leads to the knowledge of reality. Knowledge of that reality. What is that knowledge of the reality? The real nature. What is that real nature? It is the pure consciousness. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about soul. Do you know we have two kinds of soul? Souls. Souls when I say plural. I don't go into that, myth and the cult and the dogma and the belief. That is not valid. But anyhow, before doing the practice, do you know two kinds of soul present in everyone? One soul, obviously, we say present inside the heart. Every religion talks about. So what we are learning is free from religion, cult, dogma, and belief. So we have a pair of souls under the feet. So we have two kinds of souls. So don't get yourself carried away by those cult, dogma, belief. No, we are not doing that. Michelle, two souls. Two souls of the feet, one type, and the other soul. I think spelling is the same, isn't it? Spelling is the same. No? No worries. Pronunciation is the same. No. You see, you all know it. You are intelligent. So let us start doing our practice. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Stays one What is the stage when eyes are closed? Body is steady and mind is looking inside. Mind is not looking outside. What is outside? Direction of the west. Based on the story. You just keep looking inside means you are aware inside. Finished. You're looking at the emptiness or darkness. That is okay. And gradually we move to the second step in the first stage, being comfortable. We make the mind subtle, looking at the neck joint, being there, feeling. You see, I'm not inviting your crazy, lazy, and obsessed mind. I'm just asking, just look at the neck joint, be there, feel. What do you feel? Sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Move the mind on the shoulder joints, feel the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. What exactly we are doing? We are making the mind subtle. What happens, subtle mind? Subtle mind naturally becomes pure, naturally focused, it raises its awareness, and then it perceives the truth. Being move the mind on the entire body from crown to the toes on all the joints of the body. Sensation being comfortable and steadiness. Your mind is becoming subtle. Subtle mind can perceive the subtle things. That is what exactly we are trying to learn. Now the third step in the stage one is being carefree. We just learned that mind has five objective states, means five mind has thought patterns. They are coming, they are going, they will stay, but you do nothing. So, what is the point of awareness? That you are separating yourself from the thought which is not you. The moment you get engaged with the thought, the mind becomes the master. That is what we learn. It comes by practice. How do I explain with an example? The birds are flying in the sky. The sky above is untouched. The birds appear and disappear in the sky. The thought appear and disappear in the mental space. See that? It is very much a fact. Then, in that state, now stage one is complete. We move to the stage two. We need to purify the mind that we discussed. So, in that state of sensation, being comfortable, steadiness, realizing that all these thoughts are not me, looking inside the rib cage, let us look inside the chest, at the center of the chest in the darkness, and start breathing cheerfully, short and the quick breath from the chest through the nostrils. But keep your mind, keep your body steady. Continue. We are purifying the mind. In that process of purification, if the mind is lazy or crazy, it will react and blame and complain. Don't listen to it. Just continue. Keep looking inside the rib cage. You are not the mind. Continue. and stop it. The next one is to take you deeper. If you maintain your awareness, start inhaling through the nose, deep, silent and slow. Inhalation is totally deep. First, it goes into the belly, into the rib cage, and while breathing out, make the humming sound deep, long, louder, with the lips together. Check that your mind should not make you crazy. Means you start feeling sleepy. The other point is mind makes you crazy. You start breathing very fast. The noisy breath, noisy inhalation. You are gone. No. The next breath is also deep, silent, and slow. And then breathing out, making the humming sound. Continue. Your inhalation takes time. It means you are maintaining your awareness on the mind. Mind, you cannot become my master. I told you to breathe slow, deep, and silent, so you have to do it. Not a big deal for you guys. If you're feeling sleepy, mind is reacting. If you are yawning, mind is reacting. Just know that reaction and continue the journey. It will happen. Don't worry about it. Continue, and even if you persist, the mind starts moving your body. The mind says scratch here and there, move the body here and there. It disturbs the steadiness. Don't do that. Let us don't do that today and see what happens. And stop it. Do nothing. No movement in the body at all. The next step is moving the mind deeper within so that we can bypass the sense and the mental perception both. Looking deep inside the forehead in the space, that is one side of the mind. Other side of the mind inside the forehead, start hammering the mantra mentally. Quick, fast, loud. In your mind, you hear the sound of the Om. And where you are hammering it, you are hammering deep inside the forehead. Symbolically, is the center of the wisdom. Can the mind live into that wisdom? Meditation is not too far. Just hammer it. The hammering has an intensity. The intensity gathers the mind that is scattered outside. So, where it goes inside. Is the world inside? No, it leaves the world outside. That is one explanation. I'll be explaining in detail in the following sessions. Now, looking inside the center of the heart, the center of the rib cage, in the space again. So, the awareness of the space continues and start hammering the same mantra, quick, fast, and loud. Om, 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 om. Om. How do you know that you are doing quick, fast, and loud? There is no thought between the two. Om. And that gives you a glimpse of something deeper and greater. Beautiful. I appreciate. You see, the mind is withdrawing inside. The body is insentient. It has no life in its own. It's a matter. So when the mind leaves the body, what happens? The body gets steadiness. You may experience the freezing sensation, heaviness, tingling, numbness. Recognize, accept it, continue the journey. Beautiful. Continue the journey like this. I appreciate you all. And now looking inside the belly button in the space, continue hammering quick, fast, and loud in your mind. Om, 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 om. And you are the test. You have to testify yourself. It is so quick, fast, and loud, so that there is no thought enters between the two om. That is the meaning of the quick, fast, and loud. So when I say you to leave the step, don't allow the mind to move the body. And now we move to the stage 4. Stop hammering. Look at the head and the neck outside. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. In that state, what I'm saying, in that state of when the water on the surface is calm, sensation, relaxation, stillness outside, I'm comparing. In that state, look inside the head and the neck and just be there. See what happens. The mind expands with that space and emptiness. Let us do it again and see the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. Outside, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. In that state, look inside the right arm. Find the common element. It is emptiness, it is darkness, it is the space. Outside, no common element. Left arm. Mind moves on the left arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. You are there. You experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Now you are 100% sure the water on the surface is calm, made up of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And when you look inside, you can see deep into the water. That majority of the people do not understand. So that is why I explain it with the principles. Move the mind on the middle portion of the body, from the shoulder to the waist, the entire rib cage and the belly in the front, and the spine on the back. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And inside, in that state, if you look inside, then the mind explores. Look at the right leg, outside, space, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Inside, just seeing inside, so simple. I'm not asking I'm not asking you to imagine or visualize something. I will never say that. That may take you to hallucination. Move the mind on the left leg. Outside, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And inside, the space. The entire body, from the crown of the head to the toes. Outside, the water on the surface of an ocean is calm. What is our experience? Sensation, relaxation, stillness. In that state, you look inside. You are aware. That gives you an experience of now looking at the breath going in and out. First point of awareness. So, with the breath going in and out, the mind also feels the sensation inside the nose of the breath going in and coming out. 2 point of awareness. Third point, no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. We can add the fourth point of awareness also. What is that fourth point of awareness? When the breath goes in, you feel the sensation at that moment drop in your mind, Om Shanti. And when the breath comes out, you feel the sensation of the breath coming out, drop Om Shanti, only on that moment. Why? Preventing the mind to go outside, as if the mind is kept in abeyance, if I use the right phrase, to reveal our true nature. Doing nothing, remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind to the right hand, your mind to the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your closed eyes. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We have two things to go. Bring the hand. First is to share your experiences, and the second is question and answer. So I will drop that video recording when you are sharing your experiences and asking the question.